This is chapter number 10, The Changing World of Visual Arts. Portraits of Authority. Now here, the pictures are being made, but with a different mindset, that is, in order to show the authority. So portrait, what was there before in Indian culture, traditional art, and how it changed under colonial rule. So portrait and portraiture, first we need to understand. Portrait is basically a picture of a person. So there is a person persons in the picture, and then the face and its expression, the feeling is quite prominent. Johann Zoffany, I'll just talk about him. So portrait is basically the show or representation of the expression of a person. And portraiture is the art of making portraits. So whether it is British or Indian, the rich, powerful, they wanted to see themselves on the picture, on the painting, on the canvas. So this is the art in colonial India, that was portrait painting. And everyone wants to be on the canvas. They wanted to show themselves. Okay? But previously in Indian tradition, the portraits were miniature. It was smaller. But when the colonial portraits came up, this tradition or this style came up, they were big images, like life-size images. And you will see people also, that is the British royals, and also they will look like lifelike and realistic picture. Okay? So the portraiture, this is the new style of portraiture. This actually showed, or this was the mean to display the great, lavish and amazing lifestyles, wealth and status of these Britishers also, and sometimes Indian also. Okay? But mostly Britishers. So Britishers and Indian, all the rich people I'm talking about. So as I said, rich, they wanted to show their lavish lifestyle. That is, they have money, they are enjoying their lives, they have big mansions, they have people to serve for them. So wealth and status, it was also being shown in this new style of portraiture. So there is a word coming up, commission. To formally choose someone or to appoint someone for a certain piece of work, against certain payment being fixed, that you do this work, will give you this amount. This is commission. So the commission used here is somewhat different. This is hiring a painter. So as this portrait, this painting became so popular, the European came to know about this. So the European portrait painters, as this portrait was becoming popular, painting became popular in India, the European people, European painters, portrait painter, they start coming to India because they were getting a profitable commissions, because all the rich people were involved here, Britishers and Indians. So that is how they start coming to India, because they were getting a contract. Just make their picture, means big picture, and they'll get money. So there are various people came. One of them was, the famous one was Johann Zoffany. His name was, it's Johann Zoffany, but it's pronounced as Johann Zoffany. So this gentleman, this artist, this portrait painter, he was born in Germany. Then he migrated to England. And he came to India in mid 1780s. 83, 84 he came around. And he stayed here for 5 years. 5 years he stayed. Now if I can show the pictures being made by him, the portraiture of lavish lifestyle, wealth, etc., as I said, status, you will see how he made, and he showed positively what is required out of him. So you see this picture, there are two pictures. So here you see Indians also, but these Indians are only shown in background as servants. But the Britishers, the royal people, you see big mansions, big land they have, and they are Indians are shown very submissive, dabbu, inferior, right? So the Indians are just shown because the picture has to be fulfilled. They have to be showing that they are servants. Indians are servants, and the Britishers are enjoying their lives. So the way they are standing, the way they are being shown, their expression, their way they are portraying themselves, the dress they have, the attire they are wearing, and the way they are standing also, luxurious life they are living. They have money, they have all the good things of life. But Indians also, you see, but they are always in shadowy background. You see this picture, there is a girl, Indian girl, but what is she doing? She is having some stuff, carrying some stuff of the women or some fan. But the main two, this picture is showing two key people. And you know who these two people are? He is Governor General Hastings and his wife in their Boulevard estate. Governor Hastings and his wife, these two people, and this is being painted by Johann Zoffany. This is an oil painting and it was painted in 1784. This is a Boulevard estate. Johann Zoffany created it, and you see this is a mansion which is being a very grand colonial mansion. And here you see on the right, this is a marriage ceremony. So there are two families, Dashwood family and the Oriel family. So Thomas Dashwood was married to Charlotte Louisa Oriel. So Dashwood family and Oriel family. Now if you see this are the families of Calcutta. This picture is again painted by Johann Zoffany. It is also an oil painting in 1784. So do you see here, this is friends and relatives, and this is the marriage ceremony, and the background servants, they are only there to serve tea. They are making their life comfortable. So this is how Johann Zoffany presented it. Not only Britishers, as I said, the Nawabs, the rich people of India, they also wanted to show themselves on portraits. So Indian Nawabs also, they began showing or commissioning these European painters for the oil portraits. They also wanted it. No, the thing was, the Britishers annexed certain places and they implemented, or they had a resident there, agent it was. So all the decision, everything was now with the hand of, in the hand of resident only, British resident. So now the Nawabs are only on the pension. Some of them, they did not want the interference of this resident, that is the British company. But some of the Nawabs, they accepted the superiority of Britishers. They said it's okay, let's accept what the superiority of British. Let them interfere in our say regime and power. And since we don't have anything, we are already defeated. So it's better, let's accept the superiority of British. So they started socializing the British and also started adopting and adapting to the styles and taste. That is all this, the taste of say culture, the taste of tradition these Britishers have. That is the European tradition. So this person is Muhammad Ali Khan. There is a place called Arcot. Arcot, Muhammad Ali Khan, he lost in 1770s. There's a war and British annexed his regime, his territory, and now Muhammad Ali Khan became the pensioner of the company. He became the pensioner of the company. But he, after all this also, he commissioned two visiting European artists. He also wanted to be shown as, others, the Europeans or the Britishers are being shown. So Tilly Cattle and George Willison. As I said, Johann Zoffany Similarly, we have Tilly Kettle, George Wilson, and there are so many painters which came to India. So they were given the task by Muhammad Ali Khan, and when this is being painted, his portrait is being painted. This was gifted to King of England, and also to the big shots or the directors of the East India Company. So Muhammad Ali Khan, like Muhammad Ali Khan, there were many Nawabs which have done this. See, खाने को नहीं दाने, अम्मा चलिए बुनाने. That means खाने को नहीं कबाब, फिर भी हम रहेंगे नवाब. So Nawab has lost all this power, valor, money, but still he wanted to show himself as a royal figure. So the way he is standing, that is, he is trying to show in this picture that still he is majestic, still he is aristocratic like this, but he was not. Coming to painting history, that is what all happened. It was being painted. So 2 paintings I told you about. Now the third category of painting or imperial art is called history painting. Itihas ka chitran. History painting. Oil painting I told you. The realistic painting I told you. This is the imperial art, history painting. So this kind of tradition, they wanted to show, they wanted to present, they want to recreate and recall the events, big events, the big episodes which happened in British imperial history. Basically, this picture wanted to show the prestige, the popularity, the valor, the importance and the power of Britishers. So see, what do these history painter will do in Britain, or the British painters, the painters will do? Because there are various regime which British annexed. So there are all stories of British victories. So these painter, first of all, they got this information from the hand sketches and also from the account of travelers. And when they got the information, they made these pictures of British victories. And now these pictures which they made, history painting, this was made specially for the British people back home in England and Scotland to know that the British are doing good work, India and elsewhere. So in order to put a favorable image in the mind of British public, British say resident or the citizens, this picture was there. So these picture or these paintings were basically to celebrate the British power, to show the British people which are in England that how powerful the Britishers were, their victories and the white supremacy that these white have on the other places like India and etc. Okay. So you see this picture. This is a very important picture. There are so many people involved here. So this picture was being made by Francis Hayman. Now you see Francis Hayman on the left. Now he made this picture in 1762. And this picture was properly being placed on a public display in Vauxhall Gardens in London. So this was for open public display in London, this picture. So what do these London people or the British people will understand by this picture? Okay, what happened was, Britishers, the East India Company, they defeated Sirajud-Dowlah. There was a famous battle of Plassey, and this Nawab Sirajud-Dowlah, he was defeated, and now he was not just defeated, he was defeated with a conspiracy. There was a commander of Sirajud-Dowlah, Mir Jafar. He did not take part in the battle. That is how Sirajud-Dowlah actually lost, because there was a say pre-meeting arrangement. There was already a nexus between Robert Clive and Mir Jafar that if you help us, we are going to make you the Nawab of Bengal. Okay, Nawab of Murshidabad. So Mir Jafar did that. Everyone wanted power, and he was like the backstabbing man. So that is how Sirajud-Dowlah lost, and Mir Jafar was finally made as a puppet Nawab of Bengal, of Murshidabad. Okay. Now if you see this picture, this was they wanted to show they don't want to show the conspiracy. They just wanted to show the aggression and the conquest, which is not in the painting. The aggression and conquest is not depicted. Sorry, that is the fight, the battle, the killing was not shown. It was just that Mir Jafar is welcoming Robert Clive. So it's all good. After the Battle of Plassey. But what happened behind that? What's not shown by this Haman? Okay, no killing, no battlefield, no conspiracy. So Robert Clive was being welcomed by Mir Jafar. That is, the English people will see, oh, Indians are welcoming the Britishers. They want them there. They have supremacy over others. Okay. So this kind of celebration, we see in various pictures. Whenever British military, British troop, they are victor, they get victory, the celebration happens. And these are the paintings are the way or the means and mode of showing it. So I'll talk about Mysore, the famous battle of Seringapatam. Right now, or it was changed to Srirangapatnam. Now here Tipu Sultan father, Hyder Ali, and also Tipu Sultan, they were the biggest enemies of Englishmen. They had French support also, but they were by themselves very powerful. Now Mysore, Seringapatam was the capital of Mysore, the place where these Hyder Ali and Tipu Sultan were ruling. And there were various Anglo-Mysorean war that happened. Because it was not easy to defeat Tipu Sultan and Hyder Ali. But finally, in the fourth war, 1799, Tipu Sultan was defeated. And he was killed also. He was defeated and killed. This happened in the famous battle of Seringapatam. So the British troops, in the pictures, are shown how they finished, how they killed, how they ended the people who are against them, like Tipu Sultan. So here if you see picture, how this British triumph is celebrated, how this British troop, they are storming and coming to the walls from all sides of the fort. They were just cutting these soldiers into pieces. This is storming of Seringapatam. It is being made by Robert Kerr Potter. They are climbing on the walls, soldiers, raising flag aloft on the ramparts of Tipu's fort. And basically, all the Britishers, what they did to Tipu Sultan, since Tipu Sultan was actually resisting everything what British wanted to imply or implement. So now this painting is glorifying the British triumph. One picture is very important. See this picture. Here is General Bade. He was leading the British army that stormed Tipu's fort. Now if you see how he is standing in between triumphantly with valor, power in the middle. The light of the lanterns, Laltain, he is the only visible person. If you see Tipu, he lies dead. And his body is in darkness, semi-darkness. His forces are defeated. Royal clothes which he had, it was stripped off. Only General Bade is seen here. So this is being shown, this picture is announcing that if anybody is resisting against the English, whoever dare to oppose the British, this will be the result. This will be the consequence. Okay? So Tipu Sultan was not at all the key figure of this picture, though this was the triumph picture of their defeat. That is, they defeated Tipu Sultan and killed also. But it was all General Bade picture. That is, the Britishers are shown that they are powerful and they can kill anyone, they can defeat anyone. That is again the power, valor and the way they want to show the supremacy. What happened to the court artist? Okay, this we are going to take in the next discussion. Okay, thank you so much. Take care of yourself.